Hello, my dear friends. So, I welcome all of you once again to my YouTube channel नीतीश पटेल। मैं हूं आपका दोस्त नीतीश और आज के इस टॉपिक में हम बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट टॉपिक को डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। दोस्तों, अकॉर्डिंग टू द रिसेंट सर्वे, इंडिया हैज़ बिकम द सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट सोर्स ऑफ FDI in United Kingdom. Friends, first of all, let me tell you that what is the FDI. FDI stands for the Foreign Direct Investment. It is the type of investment that is done by the industrialist, factories or the companies or even the individual of one country into the any other country. For example, in India, we have so many companies that are not Indian, such as Apple, Tesla, Google, Facebook, even the so many Japanese car, motor vehicle companies. They have invested their money in India, and hence that is also the one type of FDI. So in terms of FDI for the United Kingdom, India has become the second largest source of FDI after the United States. Friends, we all know that United States is the world's largest GDP, and we all know that most of the companies, especially the software, the tech companies such as Google, Microsoft, all are from United States, and hence the UK gets largest amount of FDI from United States and India is the second largest. So friends, let me tell you why this has become possible, because a lot of Indian people lives in United Kingdom. Before our independence, a lot of Indian people have been residing there, and even after the independence, a lot of people prefer to go to the United Kingdom for investment or even for the studies. Similarly, the United Kingdom has been the second fastest growing G20 investor in India. We all know that G20 countries, it is the group of 20 countries, sorry, it is the group of 19 countries plus the European Union. Hence, there are 20 members in G20, and we all know that G20 is the group of the 20 powerful, economically powerful countries in the entire world. So UK is the second fastest growing G20 investor in India. We all know that India and United Kingdom has a very bad history. Before 1947, when India was ruled by United Kingdom or Britain, India has faced the mass drain of wealth from India to the United Kingdom. We all know that the British East India Company that was opened in India in 1613, and since then, primarily after the Battle of Plassey 1757, the British East India Company has earned a lot of wealth and income from India, and they have sent those income to the United Kingdom. But in spite of that, the India and United Kingdom has a very calm relationship in the 21st century. Both the countries have great economies. India as well as United Kingdom both has the GDP of 2.8 trillion dollars. So both countries can come together to overcome so many problems, especially the problems of poverty in India and the lack of manpower in the United Kingdom. Under its push for global Britain, the United Kingdom is looking forward for renewed partnerships in the broader Indo-Pacific region. Friends, we all know that the Britain, being one of the global power, it wants to expand their territorial or the trade expansion in the entire world. And we all know that currently the Indo-Pacific region has become of the largest interest in the globe. All the countries including US, China, France, Britain, Germany, they are looking towards the Indo-Pacific region for securing their trade and oil imports. India has been identified as an integral part of London's tilt. Friends, we all know that after the Brexit is the exit of Britain from the European Union. After the Brexit happened, European Union has broken and United Kingdom becomes separated from the European Union. So after this, United Kingdom had a lot of economic burden as now they will be imposed tariffs, tax while exporting their goods to the European countries. But that is why United Kingdom is tilting towards other countries. So this term is commonly known as in current world as the London's tilt. London London means Britain is tilting towards the South Asian countries, especially India, for their economic partnership. The UK is also home of 1.5 million people of Indian origin. There are approximately 15 lakh people of Indian origin in the United Kingdom, which comprises 1.8%, almost 2% of the UK's population. Friends, let me tell you that Indian origin people in the United Kingdom, they are one of the richest class in the UK. They contribute 6% to the country's GDP. Remember my friends, their population is only 1.8% and their contribution towards GDP is 6%. Friends, let me tell you that currently the finance minister as well as the home minister of United Kingdom, they are also of the Indian origin. The finance minister, which is also known as the finance secretary in UK, she is Priti Patel. She is from Indian origin, and the home minister of UK is Rishi Sunak. He is also of Indian origin. Friends, we know that India and UK, they are the part of various organizations such as G20 as well as the United Nations. Currently, the UK has proposed India to join the G7 group, and as well as the UK has proposed India to join or formulate a D10 group. The D10 simply means the democracy 10. It shows how much UK is interested to engage with India. A prominent example of India-UK strategic collaboration is the contemporary cooperation between Oxford AstraZeneca and the Indian Serum Institute during the COVID-19 pandemic. Friends, we all of us knows the Covishield vaccine. The Covishield vaccine is the best example of the India-UK strategic collaboration under which the Oxford's AstraZeneca and Indian Serum Institute of India, they collaborated to formulate one of the finest vaccine for COVID-19 in the world. India and UK have tremendous opportunity towards greater engagement in defense security. We all know that India possesses a lot of defense equipment such as the aircraft carriers, submarine, even the fighter jets from UK. India has bought a lot of weapons from UK after independence, but later on India shifted its defense expenditure from Russia, USA, Israel and France. That is why UK can invest in the India's defense sector, looking that India has increased the FDI cap in defense sector by 74%. Now, any foreign company can invest in Indian defense sector up to 74% by direct route and up to 99% by case to case basis. Now looking towards the way forward, we have seen that India is the second largest source of FDI in UK only after US, as well as the UK is the second fastest growing G20 investor in India. The trade between two countries has increased nearly 10% to about 24 billion pound in 2019, surpassing the growth rate of the global trade. India and UK trade has shown very wide growth as comparison to the rise in the global trade. Now looking towards some problems in the India-UK relationship. However, impediments remains in the education realm. For instance, there is a considerable gap that still exists with respect to how British universities approach the need and scope for studying contemporary India and vice versa. Friends, we know that because of our bad history with United Kingdom, Indians have not a good thought about the English people the similar way. There are a very bad representation, the thoughts of representation in the people of UK that India is a very poor country, India is miserable, India is not at all country to survive. So I think that both the countries should work to increase the people to people contact and let the people of both the countries know that both the countries are helpful and they are good for each other. So this is all in this video. I hope you like the lecture. I hope this lecture was fruitful for all of you. So if you like the lecture, please share the video, subscribe the channel and do not forget to press the bell icon. That's all. Good night. Jai Hind.